There's a rumor that's been going around for years about you guys that after one of your live performances, the entire audience got sick. Is that because of your music? Is there any truth to the rumor?
Have you ever felt that someone might be watching you?
I know exactly where you are. I have my ways of knowing where you are, and when I need to talk to you, I will call.
It's something most of us take for granted, that it's a choice to let people into our lives. But what if those we let in get too close? It could be someone you know. But what if you don't?
So she's like, oh my God, I don't even know this guy. Why am I gonna pay this bill? I didn't smash the TV, what's going on?
What if someone set you up? This is the story of Toyota's You're Over You campaign.
Alright, bruv, how you doing, mate?
We're on our way.
I can't wait to see it.
We're gonna have some fun.
There's a guy that's been following me.
Everyone wants to be able to see all the information that's out there, and at the same time, everyone wants to make sure that they're only sharing their information with the people who they want to see it.
In an age of social media, it's hard to imagine a time when television was king.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
But back in 2009, sites like YouTube and Facebook were providing an outlet for brands to have a voice, and companies started taking risks. The advertising agency, Saatchi & Saatchi, conducted one of the first ever social media forward campaigns for the launch of Toyota's budget-friendly new model, the Matrix, meaning that Toyota wanted this car to be seen online only, with no television. This wasn't the first time Toyota had explored less traditional means of promotion. Yaris, for the Xbox 360, was Toyota's first attempt at creating an attachment to a younger demographic. However, reaching the right audience was only half the battle. Creating a genuinely inspired game was not on Toyota's agenda.
Can you imagine a Toyota brief? Yeah, so what we want you to do is do a racing game all about the Yaris. Add in a few cool things that kids love, like MP3 players. Yeah, young adults are well into MP3 players. And how about some dogs on hoverboards? Yeah, hoverboards are cool when I saw Back to the Future when I was...
The game received almost universal criticism before being pulled from the Xbox Live Store shortly after its release. Toyota, however, learned something from the Yaris incident. If young people would go out of their way exposing something they hate, what would they do for something they love? With fraternity humour at its peak in pop culture, the goal was clear. In order to appeal to the MTV generation, Toyota would have to pull a prank of their own. Imagine, you get a text message from a stranger who claims to know you. A football fanatic from England who somehow knows your name and knows your address. Then he pocket dials you, and you hear him tell someone he's on his way to your home.
Malcolm, he's the one we're gonna stay with.
Surely this must be a joke, right? The next day, he emails you and says he's in trouble with the law and on his way to your house to lay low. Is this still a joke? On the third day, you get an email from a motel claiming that this fanatic broke a TV and left your contact details to reclaim the cost of the damage. This is exactly what happened in 2009.
Amber Dewick is suing Toyota for cyberstalking her in an ad stunt.
But how did Toyota get themselves into this situation? I reached out to members of the creative team behind the Matrix campaign, conducting interviews with senior copywriter Rick Utzinger and creative director Dino Spadavecchia. Here they explain how the campaign actually ran.
I can tell you about all the different characters. There was a conspiracy theorist, there was a Harajuku girl, there was Sebastian, the footballer, the heavy metal guy, Anubis Psychosis. Everyone in the band had the first name of an Egyptian god and the last name of a disease. And then there was the furry.
It's kind of like the priesthood in a way. It's a vocation, you know. It's not something that you do like a job. It's something that you're compelled to do, and you know, you just have to do it. Whether it makes money, whether it doesn't make money, you know, there's a higher calling to do this. And you know, of course, I'm one of the lucky ones. I can pay the bills, but you know, I send money to the poorer mascots. You know, we all support each other.
We had tried to find, you know, 5 different characters that had different touch points, so that when someone was going to go and prank a friend of theirs, it would be like, well, who would be that doppelganger? Who would be that opposite of that of my buddy? If it was a conspiracy theorist that I was going to prank you with, this guy over the course of 5 days would be making his way across the country to come find you, to come stay at your house, because you know he knows you from somewhere. And so the Matrix is this vehicle that is enabling all this, right? So it's in a subconscious sort of psychological way, this car is that proof point of like your doppelganger. It's your other you. It's your license to kind of be a little fun and crazy.
You've been conditioned to blink for all kinds of reasons as you've been developing in life. But people who are aliens have not had the opportunity to learn how to blink. Their eyes are always fixed in this stare.
When we came up with the idea and said, this is what we want to do, and once the idea was put on the table and the client said, go, we had to then develop that idea, right? So then we have to create all those characters. We have to figure out what they're going to do. You know, every single aspect had to be Google proofed. So if it was a hotel, if it was a character, if it was a character's blog, or, you know, we had the Harajuku girl was a dancer. So we had some music stuff with her. We had a heavy metal band. He had a band. We had to Google proof the band, and we recorded some music and then put that online in MySpace. It was, you know, it was crazy.
We wrote 5 songs for an EP. One of the songs was called Bathtub Full of Ice. It was about a perpetual nightmare where the singer is missing organs each morning he wakes up. And we also wrote a song called Bearded Baby, loosely based on the New Jersey Devil, where the singer was born with a full beard. It was amazing to have that type of creative freedom.
Largely unrecorded, it's been found that separate babies are born each year with fully developed facial hair. These are fortunate souls, known as the bearded babies. Oh, bearded baby, touch your love. Oh, bearded baby, into this world shows. From the very first moment, brimstone and fire, a seeker of truth in a world full of lies.
Pluto? Hey, you know what? That is no longer a planet. You know what it is now? It's a halfway station. So they're not gonna blow it up, okay? This government needed a way to store something on a very far out place. And how far can you get from the Earth and Pluto? It was an ideal situation. Just put all the plutonium, dump it there, leave it there, and it's okay with everybody.
This is when Google had first started doing Google Maps. And so you would get an email from the conspiracy theorist and be like, hey, Josh, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Are you still at this address? And it would be a picture of your house. And so people were freaking out because they'd be getting these things as if he was taking pictures from outside your house. But that stuff is all public. You wouldn't know it because it was brand new that year and no one had gone through and looked at what their house looked like on Google. So at the end of the video, there's like this weird kind of David Lynch moment where you have this weird guy and he's eating a sandwich or something. And on his desk, there was a picture, and he flips the picture around. And in the picture was the photograph I had sent of you. he presses a button and you see this like tape to tape thing start playing, and then you would hear a recorded message that it was me, and I would be like, hey dude, I was just pranking you, whatever. As he picks up the phone on his side, your phone rings, so it looks like it's a live video. He'd start laughing and you're hearing that laugh on your side, and that's when you knew. But if you didn't follow through the whole process, you wouldn't get that part.
So she's suing the company for intentional infliction of emotional distress, unfair, unlawful, and deceptive trade practices, and neglect misrepresentation.
So
negligent misrepresentation.
What happened to her?
Amber Duick claimed that the messages she received from Sebastian made her fear for her life, and even sleep with a machete under her pillow. But not everybody was convinced.
So let's sue somebody for getting a spam email, basically is what this was.
Right, but this was specific and threatening.
The case was settled out of court, and the EuroView website was shut down. However, it remains one of the most innovative campaigns of its time, winning industry awards, including design and art direction. Most importantly, EuroView did connect with its audience, with many praising its dedication to realism. But with the lines between advertising, social media, and reality being blurred, maybe it was too real.
Wake up every morning in a bathtub full of ice. Numbness all around me. Why have I paid this